As you all no doubt have heard, Judge Andrew Colton was gunned down point blank in his home by an unknown assailant or assailants last night.
We thinking robbery?
Nothing missing.
Mob hit, maybe?
I read he was on the bench for 25 years. Maybe we can check the cases that happened in the past.
So you're offering to do a little legal research then?
Sure. Why not?
You all heard it.
What was that supposed to mean?
It means the federal court archives are 5 stories below ground. You take this creaky elevator down to a cave the size of a football field, lined floor to ceiling with file shelves as far as the eye can see.
Or as far as the eye could see, if there was any light.
Not to worry, with a miner's helmet, an oxygen tank, and a sack lunch, you should be just fine.
Levi and I will go with you. Nobody should go alone their first time.
Meanwhile, back above ground, we have the forensics report from the crime scene.
Anything interesting?
No prints. Very professional looking.
Which keeps the mob theory in play.
Hate to interrupt this little gathering, but I may have something here of interest. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the curious case of James Radley, 28-year-old attorney, killed 2 months ago on a side street near the Cap Center. He'd been to the hockey game, walking back to his car, when somebody shot him. His wallet was missing. Cops figured it for a mugging.
A tragedy for the young man's family, to be sure, but we're interested because...
There's a ballistics match with the weapon that shot His Honor, Judge Andrew Colton.
Same gun, same shooter?
What are the odds of a pro hitting a penny ante street robbery being done by the same drongo?
About the same as the odds that both victims worked for the same law firm. James Radley was an associate at Callahan and Merced. Judge Colton practiced there before he was appointed to the federal bench in 1977.
2 murders connected by a handgun and a law firm.
Sounds like the opening of a John Grisham novel.
So it seems we might want to start with Callahan and Merced. What do we know about them?
They're a law firm founded in 1932 by the former Secretary of Defense, the home to 2 former U.S. senators, a sprinkling of cabinet members, and my sister's a partner there. As I'm sure most of you already know, my sister and I are not particularly close. Nothing like a double homicide to bring the family together.
If I live to be 100 and never see the 7 wonders, that'll be alright. Should my tender heart be broken, I will cry those teardrops knowing I will be just fine, 'cause nothing changes who I am. I am Rosemary's granddaughter, the spitting image of my father, and when the day is done, my mama's still my biggest fan. Sometimes I'm clueless and I'm clumsy, but I got friends that love me, and they know just where I stand. It's all a part of me, and that's who I am. That's who I am.
Look at this! The hobbits have returned.
So, how were things in Middle-earth?
You were right. It was dark and dusty.
And I forgot about the smell, like Shrek's sneakers.
We went back 11 years. Colton was a tough judge. A lot of bad guys went down in his courtroom. But nobody seems to stand out as a likely revenge killer.
Nobody just out of prison, nobody just denied parole.
What about pending cases?
Nothing on his current docket seems to scream out gangland-style hit either.
And there's nothing in his financial records that looks unusual. No liens or judgments against him. The guy looks squeaky clean.
Did a quick background search on Colton. His wife passed away about 8 months ago. His secretary said he became depressed. Took a couple of months off to grieve. But she said he came back to the bench about 2 months ago with, and I quote, a renewed zeal for life and the law.
Did we ever find any other connection between Judge Colton and the lawyer that was shot?
None. They lived in different parts of the city. traveled in different circles.
James Radley never tried a case in Judge Colton's court.
And they never worked at Callahan and Merced at the same time.
Without the gun that fired both of those bullets, we have nothing here but the Callahan-Merced connection. Myles, with your sister working there could be a conflict if you feel you need to step away.
Not necessary.
Okay. Jack, let's go down your road and say that somebody at Callahan and Merced is involved somehow.
Which brings up the questions, who and why?
Let's hit the streets and see what we can dig up. Perhaps it'll point us in the direction of somebody specific.
Kathy? How you going? I'm Bobby Manning. This is Special Agent Myles Leland.
I've read your Eye on the City column in the paper. I admire the gritty essence of your prose.
We understand you called the FBI with information about a murder.
I got a call at the newspaper from a source of mine. She told me her boyfriend, David, a small-time criminal, came home after pulling a job totally panicked. He said the guy who had recruited him had shot someone, and that when the news came out, the cops would be coming out of the woodwork. Then I heard about Judge Colton, and it fit the story she told me.
Where is this David now?
Gone. I don't know. I hit the streets to look for him, but no sooner had I started searching than this thug walks right up to me and threatens me. Tells me that if I know what's good for me, I'd stop asking questions.
She managed to follow him back to his car and jotted down his license plate.
Wow.
A check with motor vehicles turned up the name of a small-time loser who's known to do muscle work for a certain private investigator by the name of Brian Payton.
Brian Payton? PI to the rich and infamous?
One and the same.
This guy's a cretin.
Turns out Payton also happens to be the favoured fix-it man for our good friends at Callahan and Merced. Word is, if you're a lawyer and you want a wiretap, evidence doctored, witness leaned on, Payton's your guy.
What keeps popping up is Callahan and Merced. It links to every element, including Payton. I say we need to get inside there.
Great, but how?
Well, I'm a lawyer. I got a buddy in Wisconsin who's a lawyer, who's right in the middle of a huge class action lawsuit. Class action lawsuits happen to be one of Callahan and Merced's specialties. Maybe they'd want to be part of it. We tell them we need a Washington firm to help us out. I think my friend wouldn't mind swapping IDs for a little while.
Call the Armani Boutique. Jack Hudson Esquire, he's going to need some new suits.
Well, that's not all I'm going to need. Every powerhouse lawyer is only as good as the powerhouse assistant behind him.
We're delighted that Callahan and Merced was interested in partnering with us on this. This is an important case.
Is he as nice as he is cute?
You think he's cute?
What are you, blind?
No, but I am deaf. Oh. I really am deaf.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Don't be. People often don't realize.
How do you know what I'm saying?
I can read lips. If you sign, I'm also fine with that, too.
Wow, it's fascinating.
Oh, and this is my assistant, Sue Miller.
Oh, hi, I'm pleased to meet you. I'm Hillary Kern.
Anne Leland.
A pleasure.
I have a 10 o'clock out of the office. Nice to meet you both. I'm going to show Jack his office here. Would you get us some coffee?
Yes.
Oh, and some bagels and danishes to nosh on while Hillary and I get better acquainted.
Oh, Anne.
Lovely to see you, Myles.
And you.
I was rather shocked by your call. It's been a while.
A couple of years, I think.
3 and change, actually, but who's counting? To what do I owe the pleasure?
Can't a big brother just call up his sister to see how she's doing?
I'm excellent.
Good. That's good. Thank you. You're still at Callahan and Merced?
Mom and Dad may have told you I made partner last year.
Of course they did. Congratulations. So, what else has been going on with you?
I'm building a house near the water in Reston. I just spent 2 weeks in Venice, and I recently was invited to join the Hillsborough Country Club. And you, how are things?
Good. I'm still at the FBI. Still putting away the bad guys.
Myles, I'm sure you didn't invite me out for this kind of chit-chat. What is it you want?
Doesn't it strike you as odd that we live in the same city and yet we never talk?
Okay. What would you like to talk about?
Your life. Tell me what it's like to be a partner at a big law firm.
Day to day, I attend staff meetings, depositions, I write briefs. It's a lot of long hours and pressure. You wouldn't understand.
Oh, of course. What could I possibly understand of your rarefied world? Me, a mere civil servant. What do I know of long hours and pressure? I'm only out there taking down terrorists and criminals.
So nice seeing you again, Myles.
And
stay in touch.
And wait.
Oh,
Better keep your eyes on the road there, sweetie.
sorry.
It's okay.
I think Mr. Brian Payton likes you, sweetie.
hi.
He just said he was worried about it. He wanted to see how you're doing.
Make sure we're okay.
Of course we're okay, Brian. Why wouldn't we be?
He's talking about her friend that was shot. He said it can make you question your priorities in life. It's gotta be stressful for everyone involved.
How you handling it, Ann? The stress?
You don't have to worry about me.
That's good. Because team is only as strong as its weakest link. Do you know what I mean?
I think I do.
Anna's nodding her head. He said, I'd hate to have to cut you from the team. We got a call. Miss Kern.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I was going over your brief of the civil action, and there's no master list of witnesses.
It's my fault. I must have forgotten to enter them.
I specifically told you to include that list.
I'm sorry.
Don't let it happen again.
There's always an adjustment period to new surroundings. I'm sure you'll be up to speed in no time.
I guess we'll have to be a little more attentive to how things work around here, won't we, Sue?
Very good.
What are you gonna do? Fire me?
Not just yet. But I'm keeping my eye on you.
We gotta call Myles and let him know what's up with Ann.
Ann, it's me.
What are you doing here?
I think in your line of work they call this a conference in chambers. Seems you didn't tell me everything about your exciting career. You're in danger. I think Peyton was involved in the shooting of your colleague, James Radley. If you know anything about that, your life could be in danger.
This is absurd.
First, he threatens you to keep you in line and to buy himself more time. Once he figures out what you know and how to neutralize you, you are as good as dead.
You're crazy.
So you shouldn't mind if I drop by your office and ask a few questions. And Peyton shouldn't care if he finds out you've been talking to the FBI.
I just want to help you.
You can't. Some things I have done at that law firm, they could get me into a lot of trouble. Maybe even disbarred.
Were you in any way involved in the shooting of James Radley?
No. He was my friend.
That should make it easier to protect you.
Are you talking as my brother or an FBI agent?
Both. You have got to come clean about the things you've done and help us with our investigation. I'll do all I can to help you with the DA.
At first, it was everything I'd hoped for. The fast pace, high-profile cases, the perks.
But it changed somehow.
It's a competitive environment. To move up, you have to stand out. To stand out, you have to win cases and bring in revenue.
At any cost?
There are shortcuts. Ways around obstacles.
Can you be a little more specific?
Wiretaps. Break-ins, unauthorized searches of confidential records. We've tampered with juries.
Peyton did all this for you.
Can you prove it?
He's too smart. You let him know in a general way what you need, and he goes out and gets it. We're told to use the information and not to ask questions.
By who?
Hillary Kern.
Do you know who else in the firm may be involved in this?
You learn who plays ball and who doesn't. But there's one rule that everyone lives by. Keep your mouth shut.
What about James Radley?
James used Peyton to find a witness for a case he was trying. Peyton found him. The witness didn't want to talk, so Peyton put him in the hospital. When James found out, he was outraged. He was going to report it to the Bar Association.
Violation of rule number 1.
I tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't listen. So I went to Hillary just to try to keep a lid on everything.
And the next thing you know, he ended up dead.
Judge Colton also worked at your firm. What can you tell us about him?
Hillary always said he was someone we could depend on.
Meaning he was on the take?
He had been. But then it seemed to change. Hillary started saying he was a weak old fool and that we could no longer count on him.
And a few weeks later, he's murdered too. You had suspicions. Why didn't you speak to anyone?
You make that sound so easy. Who do you tell something like this to?
Is there any concrete way to tie Hillary to these murders?
I walked into Hillary's office one time and I saw over her shoulder that she was working on a computer program. There were dollar amounts and dates. When she realized I was there, she closed the program in a hurry. I thought it was weird. I mean, we have accountants who do those sorts of things.
A little dirty trick slush fund for Peyton's off-the-books activities, perhaps.
Maybe. But if you're asking me to go in there...
You won't have to.
You're FBI agents.
I'm afraid so.
Well, if you have people already in there, what do you need me for?
We need to get to Peyton. He won't work with us because we're outsiders.
No, Peyton doesn't trust me right now. If I take you to him, he won't trust you either. He's always looking over his shoulder. He's got anti-bugging devices in every office. He's paranoid.
Then tell me who I can get next to. who you know that can take me to Peyton, someone Peyton will trust.
Stephen Ulrich. He's aggressive and just careless enough to vouch for you if you think he can benefit from your lawsuit.
Stephen Ulrich said you wanted to talk.
Yes, I need some research done.
What kind of research?
The company we're suing has a design office here in D.C. They're the ones who created the faulty heart valve. They've been talking to their lawyers every day, and I'd kind of like to know what they're saying.
The best way is to probably go through their garbage every night, monitor their correspondence.
Can we do better than that?
What are you suggesting?
I don't know. You're the expert. There's a lot at stake here.
I know exactly what's at stake.
Do you? I have got a case worth over $45 million. I bring that prize home, there'll be a lot of good cheer to spread around all of the people who helped me. Know what I mean?
Where's this office?
I don't know if I can do this. We're here for you. It's going to be okay.
You know what to do.
Install the spyware program. While it's loading, I look for any file names that contain financial records.
Get in, get out. If I see a problem, I'll hit your BlackBerry with a page. And you abort no matter what stage you're at.
Sue? Mr. Buchanan?
Miss Clark.
What are you doing in here? Well, I mean, I can see what you're doing, but,
Janice, I'm so sorry. We got a deposition from a key witness today, and Jack and I wanted to leave a copy.
It's the break we've been waiting for in this case, and, well, in the heat of the moment.
yes, well, it can get hot in here. I'll see that Ms. Kern gets this.
Thank you. Oh, Janice.
Don't worry. I won't say a word to her. Be our little secret.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your deposition.
You were really good back there. I mean, the deposition line.
Yeah, you're true. With the deposition. That was quick thinking.
Good teamwork.
It's all about teamwork.
You know, that moment back there, that was a response to a situation.
Very effective.
Because I would never... Well, I mean,
It certainly changes our cover story.
I don't know. I don't think it's a big problem. You?
No. Probably just a few more looks around the water cooler.
Probably not the first time they've seen a boss secretary thing.
Probably not. Well, I better get home. See how Levi and Lucy are kissing along? Getting along. How are they getting along?
Yeah, I'll see you in the morning. We went in looking for proof that Callahan and Merced has some kind of slush fund to pay for all their dirty tricks. Now, Sue did identify an accounting program on Hillary Kern's computer.
Unfortunately, the spiral program I installed couldn't crack the firewall.
Tara, do you think you could help us out tonight?
Be there with bells on. Well, probably I won't wear bells, since we'll be going in surreptitiously.
Nice of you to make it in.
Oh, we've been all over the district trying to run down a judge who'd signed the search warrant to go into Peyton's place.
Peyton's place. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, well, third time was a charm.
Peyton took the bait. SOG had him going into the D&D office, the cleaning crew. Later, when they checked the phone circuits, they found a tap on the line.
I just got a call from the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office in Virginia. They've located the reporter's 2 snitches that went missing.
Great.
In 20 feet of water. It appears their car veered off the road and ended up in the Willis River. The sheriff there's calling it a traffic accident with fatalities.
How'd we do?
She shoots, she scores. Firewall I can't crack hasn't been invented yet, except the one I use, which was invented by me.
You're the best.
Mr. Buchanan?
Janice, hi.
Working late again, I see?
Sue, aren't you and Janice supposed to be going out to dinner together?
We were. We are, but...
I forgot my cell phone, and Ms. Kern is prone to calling me at all hours, so I came back to get it. Certainly works the overtime, doesn't he?
Hi, I'm Tara. Just flew in from Milwaukee to surprise my hubby.
I see. Well, I hope you have a pleasant visit. Don't work too hard.
Well, why do I get the feeling I missed something?
Office politics.
Getting into Peyton's office wasn't too difficult. We found listening devices, a mini video camera, and a couple of guns.
Neither were the right caliber for our shootings, and both are legally registered to Peyton.
So basically, we have more evidence of his illegal wiretapping operations, but nothing tying him and Hillary to any murders.
Unless you count this. At first glance, it looked to be a handwritten accounting ledger we found hidden in a false panel in Peyton's desk.
But after comparing it against the accounting program we took off Hillary's computer last night, there are some interesting similarities. If you look at Hillary's entry dated 1/4, it's a debt for $25,000. On the same date, Peyton has a corresponding receipt listed for reimbursement of expenses.
And 1/4 is only 2 days after James Radley was murdered.
On 3/8, there's another $25,000 debt on Hillary's side and another receipt on Peyton's books. Retainer for services this time.
3/8 is only 2 days after Judge Colton was gunned down.
Couldn't be more obvious. Dragon Lady paid for the hits, Peyton carried them out.
Obvious to us, but we still have to make the case to the AUSA.
And even though these records clearly suggest a running tally of cash that's exchanged hands, it's all supposition. And a check of every bank account that's controlled by Peyton and Hillary shows nothing that even remotely corresponds.
So they must have other untraceable accounts to keep all this off the books.
If it's all true, they're getting away with murder.
Literally.
These guys have gotten where they are by playing some dirty tricks. I say we play a couple of dirty tricks of our own, turn up the heat a little, see who gets nervous and makes a mistake.
Don't ask me to calm down. It is splashed all over the front page of the paper. Why would you use the same gun?
One of my guys made a mistake. Don't worry, the gun will be gone today, so will the guy who used it. Nobody will ever find either one of them.
Well, even if that were true, now they have a connection between the two murders. How long do you think it'll be before the feds start to ask questions around here?
I assume you're not going to tell them anything. I'm not going to tell them anything, so let them ask.
What about Anne?
We can eliminate that problem.
I don't want it drawing any more attention. You said you still have the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Good. We'll make it look like a suicide.
Perfect.
And when you give me the word, I will call the police. I will say that Anne called me because she had broken the law. When I asked her specifically what it was about, she said she wouldn't say, so I told her she had to get a lawyer and turn herself in.
But obviously, she couldn't deal with your advice, so she decided to handle it a different way.
What will become apparent is that she killed Radley and Colton because she was trying to hide something. She was involved in unethical practices, which this firm neither knew about nor would ever condone, such as, I don't know, witness tampering, bribing a judge. I'll make some notes in her personnel file. I'll set the seeds to show that she was unstable. She was behaving erratically. I thought I was a good judge of character. I never saw this coming. Don't screw it up this time, Brian.
I couldn't get everything, but I got that Peyton was going to kill Anne.
Then we have to bring her in right now.
I just looked for her. She's not in her office.
What do we got?
SOG can't find Peyton. He somehow slipped out of the law firm. Not in his office or in his home.
We're all over his known associates, favorite hangouts, former girlfriends. Any place he's known to frequent, there's somebody there looking for him.
Any word on Anne?
Not any more than we already know. Her secretary said she left for a late lunch, then called in to say she was going to a meeting outside the office and wouldn't be back until tomorrow.
Where's Myles?
Out looking and calling.
We've been trying to call Anne. Her cell's not picking up. We've been monitoring all her phones, but so far no calls. Check with her parents, her apartment, some old friends, some new friends.
That's him. Yeah.
I think I know where she is. I just hope we can get there before Peyton.
Anne.
What are you doing here?
I was on my way home.
You don't live around here.
I took the scenic route. Move away from the window. I'm not gonna let you get it.
I dropped the gun!
Okay.
This doesn't go away because Peyton is dead. We need to start building a case against Hillary Kern. We know she was involved in both murders.
I believe that you're right, but I don't know anything that will convict her.
Then you have to help us find something.
Anne, what a pleasant surprise.
Your assistant said you'd be here. I have another surprise for you. The phone call you're expecting from Peyton isn't going to come. He's dead.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's not pretend, okay? You sent Peyton to kill me. Now he's dead, and you and I have some business to discuss. Call him. He won't answer. Ever. The only way to protect myself was to go on the offensive to play your game. But make no mistake, I find you and your ways repulsive. But you gave me no choice.
Why are you here?
I've put together a file of everything I know, all your dirty tricks. The wiretaps, the witness interrogation, the bribes. What's it worth to you for me not to make this public?
I was wrong about you. Radley and Colton were weak. They would have taken us down. But this shows me you're not. You're a fighter just like me. I'm glad Peyton's gone. We don't need him. We don't need any help climbing up the ladder anymore. We made it. It's just you and me now. If we stick together, no one can touch us. I have the clout to make you an equal partner. You'll be at the top of one of the most powerful law firms in this country.
I have other plans.
Hillary Kern,
Yes.
I'm with the FBI.
You're under arrest.
What?
You okay?
I just got off the phone with Anne. I had to tell her that although she's probably going to avoid any jail time, she will surely be disbarred for the things she did.
Tough call.
I just wish I could have done more for her.
Myles, you didn't just keep her out of jail. You saved her life. You helped her in ways you may not even understand.
We lived under the same roof for almost 16 years, and I can't remember ever laughing with her. We spent so much time competing for my parents' approval that we never really got a chance to get to know each other, except as adversaries. All I wanted to do was to beat her, to show my parents I was better than her. And now I guess I finally won. The definition of a hollow victory.
Maybe you should tell her this instead of me.
I can't. I have more of a connection with you than I do with my own sister. What does that tell you?
Jack. Thank you. Funny meeting you here.
I wanted to see how it went.
Well, you were right. I won't be going to jail.
Oh.
Thank you for protecting me.
You're welcome. So what's next?
I guess I'll have to tell Mom and Dad. Do you think they'll give me my old room back while I'm getting my life together?
Nightly dinner table progress reports with Philip and Elizabeth? You might want to reconsider prison.
Maybe.
Maybe I could help you break the news, since I've had so much experience disappointing them.
You've never disappointed them. You're the golden child.
Oh, are you kidding? That crown belongs to you. You were always the favorite.
Are you kidding?
I've spent the greater part of my life envying what you had with them.
You're really serious.
Yes.
How ironic is that? Mom and Dad pitted us against each other because they were so fixated on us becoming overachievers. And it seems to me that they've succeeded all too well.
It's a sound theory. Although I don't think we can blame everything on them.
Why not?
Are you hungry? I thought maybe we could grab a bite and talk over the life we missed.
Could make for an interesting evening.
It was a good job while it lasted.
Well, I'm sure your friend in Wisconsin will be happy to have his identity back.
I have a bone to pick with you, mister. Seems you've been cheating on me. With one of my own friends, no less.
You talked to Janice.
So, any chance we can work this out? How do I have to file for a divorce?
All right, now that you've had your fun, any chance we can keep this on the down low?
What? Keep the tabloid story of the century off the airwaves? Actually, we have a nice little office pool going. I say Sparky and Tara weather the storm and stay together.
Yeah, but the smart money's on Sue, the home wrecker, landing her man.
What did I miss? What are you guys talking about?
Jack and Sue making out in Dragon Lady's office at Callahan and Merced.
What?
We weren't making. We weren't making out.
You want to go under oath and say that? We have a reliable witness.
It was part of the undercover.
So you were making out?
It wasn't making out.
What exactly was it?
We're late.
Oh, you can't get away with this that easily. Two-timer. I want justice.
I want to hear every detail.
How about next time, I'm the high-powered executive, and you can be my handsome assistant.
Fair enough, but be forewarned. I make lousy coffee and my research is kind of shaky.
It was interesting to see the Jack Hudson that might have been. The young, successful attorney.
I like where I am. In this job, you never know what can happen.
True. Never a dull moment. Well, it's getting late.
Yeah, I should go.
Yeah, me too. Good night.
Jack.